Hello, girls. Today we're going to be talking about the heart, and the learning outcome is to describe the structure and function of the human cardiovascular system. It is 9L1D. Please write this at the top of page 33 in your ISN to describe the structure and function of the human cardiovascular system. The title for these notes are called The Heart. Please know that sometimes some literature, some books call it the circulatory system. So the cardiovascular system and the circulatory system are the same thing. All right, the human heart is a muscle, and the purpose of the heart is to pump blood around our bodies. There are 4 different chambers for the heart. We have the 2 upper chambers are called atria, and if you're only talking about one, it's called an atrium. So you have a right atrium and you have a left atrium. When you talk about them together, the plural term is atria, the singular term is atrium. Now, looking at this picture, you will see that the right side is actually on the left and the left side is actually on the right. The way that I remember which way to label the left and the right is if you were to take this heart and you put it up against your own chest, then you know the left side from the right side. Or if you can just look at it and know which is the left side and it's the opposite, that can help you as well. The 2 lower parts of the heart, or the 2 lower chambers, are called ventricles. The blood flows into the heart through the atrium and then out through the ventricle. And these are valves that help push the blood from the atrium to the ventricle, and then they go out through the arteries, and we'll talk about that in a moment, arteries and veins. So the atria and the ventricles work together as a team. The atria fill with blood and then it pushes it into the ventricles. And then from there, the blood is then pumped into the tubes, which take it around to the body. So the blood comes in through the pulmonary veins. We'll talk about this in a moment. Through the left atrium into the left ventricle. Then it goes out through the aorta, which again, we'll talk about in a moment. So you may be wondering, what is the red and blue colors? The red is oxygen-rich blood, so blood that is very high in oxygen, whereas the blue is oxygen-poor blood or deoxygenated blood. You can see here, these are the pulmonary veins, and the blood comes from the lungs. What do the blood get from the lungs? Oxygen. When you breathe in, the oxygen goes to your lungs, and the blood that passes by those lungs pick up oxygen, and then they take it through the left atrium. The left atrium passes through a valve, which we will discuss a little later, into the left ventricle. The left ventricle pumps the blood through the aorta. The aorta is the largest artery in the body. I repeat, the aorta is the largest artery in the body. The aorta, the largest artery in the body. Remember that. So once it goes through to the aorta, then it goes out to the body. Then after it goes out to the body, and I kind of circle around here because these are your toes, your fingers, your brain, your hair, your lungs, your stomach, your liver, your kidney, everything. Once it goes out into the body to oxygenate all the cells in your body, then it comes back here to what is called the vena cavas. We have a inferior vena cava here on the bottom and a superior vena cava. All you need to know for our class is the term vena cava. So it goes into the vena cavas, into the right atrium. From the right atrium, it passes through another valve into the right ventricle. After it goes through the right ventricle, then it goes up into the pulmonary arteries. And the pulmonary arteries, one takes the blood to the lungs. And what does it get from the lungs? It picks up oxygen. So after it picks up the oxygen from the lungs, then the process starts back all over. So what I would suggest that you do is you take a moment and you use a diagram, or you can draw a simple version of this, and you need to label the items that I am underlining: the left atrium, the left ventricle, the right ventricle, the right atrium, the vena cavas, the aorta, again, the largest artery in the body, the pulmonary artery, and the pulmonary veins. I'm not sure if I said that earlier. So make sure that you label all of these important parts, and if you feel like it, use a red or blue pen in order to distinguish the oxygen-rich blood from the deoxygenated or oxygen-poor blood. Thank you.